Don't focus on the empty part of the cup. Focus on what you've got filled.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Tay.
How are you?
Good. You?
Good. So thank you once again for doing it again with us today. So basically, I'll be asking you a couple of questions, more like sharing your experiences. Who knows, your experiences juga bisa beneficial for other people, maybe your age or even younger. So first, maybe introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Nikki Triestan, and I'm 22. Graduated December last year, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Counseling Psychology with a minor in Theology and Forensic Science.
Wow, that's a lot in a sentence. It's a heavy load, yeah. So complete, with this major and that minor. So 22, so you graduated last December when you were 21 that year, yeah. Oh, that's so early. That's early. So you only finished, you graduated in only 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
So because we're still young, still a little past teenagers, right?
Yeah.
What are the struggles that maybe you can share as teenagers?
Like academic world, like maybe high school, or do you mean all the way in, did you mean college? Like everything?
High school to college.
Okay.
Tell us briefly.
Okay, I think for me, basically, I struggled with a lot of the IPA subjects like math, science, chemistry. I think I had that like 1 year, and then after that, I switched to IPS. So I was a social kid, and that was a lot better for me because I'm a logical person rather than like concepts and stuff. So that was just difficult. I think what really got me was I did not have like a drive, I guess, when I was in high school or middle school. I did not have a drive to study. Well, no, high school I did. I think like middle school below, I did not have a drive to study. So I didn't want to work hard. I was very lazy, just wanted to play. And then in high school, I realized if I kept playing and I didn't work hard, I wouldn't be able to get into college. And I really wanted to study abroad, mau belajar di luar negeri. Jadi I was like, oh, harus belajar keras, gotta get good grades, scholarship, kalau nggak bisa pergi. So started to work harder in high school. Even then, it was really difficult for me to do math. Math, whether IPA or IPS, you cannot run from it. Yeah, even though I wanted to, I tried to, I couldn't. So I had to put in extra work for math. But then I think for me, college, what was the hardest was being apart from any form of support because my family was here, my church was here. I went there, didn't really know anybody. I didn't go to a school yang kayak my brother went there or something atau teman-teman ke sana kita pergi sama-sama. Enggak juga. I just immediately chose a random school and I went there and I studied and I had to make new friends and get out of my comfort zone, manage my time. That was, I think, one of the most difficult things. But yeah.
Okay. So just to introduce to the people yang mungkin nggak tahu, you graduated grade 12 SMA 3 from Morningstar Academy, and then that year you go to university, right? Yeah. So when did you actually move to Morningstar Academy?
I moved to Morningstar grade 11.
11, yeah. Jadi when you were in your senior high school years, just a few years before you eventually go to the United States. Yeah, and then like apa yang makes you, like hit home, makes you realize kayak, oh yeah, I need to do it, and then eventually makes you want to do it.
I think what made me realize that I needed to do well was I remembered this is one of the most crucial nights. My brother was applying for colleges, and I got all of his applications and all that stuff, and then him trying to figure out all his grades, whether he can get in or not. And then it made me realize, I was like, oh, you need good grades because the college can actually say no to you.
Duh, right? That aha moment.
Every school I've been in, they accepted you if you can pay, right? So I thought, as long as I can pay, I can go.
Yeah.
I also found out from my mom America's expensive. So if we don't get scholarship, it's hard to pay. So then it made me realize like, oh, what I'm doing right now is not okay. I need to work hard. And I think at that point I was so far behind because I didn't work hard at all beforehand. So I felt like it's impossible for me to work hard now. But when I moved to Morningstar, the teachers were very nice. They were very encouraging. They stopped looking at me like I was a problem that they needed to fix. Like most of the schools I've been in, they looked at me as the problem child that needed to fix, the person that needs to follow rules and stuff, and just you have to break her to make her to follow and just, but Morningstar didn't look at me like that. I think they looked at me instead as someone who was capable and just lacked a challenge. So instead they challenged me with higher grades, trying to get better grades than what I was getting at that point. And I think after I succeeded in one of the times I was challenged, it made me realize that I myself can challenge my own drive and my own capabilities. So I think that is what made me decide that I'm actually capable of so much more than I was doing. But yeah.
Wow, that's good. So you reach that aha moment, and then with the right support system, you realize, oh, bisa kok. You're just not doing enough, not having enough passion that drives you to actually do a lot of things yang you are capable of. So eventually, tell us a little bit about how did you graduate? Did you graduate from the high school well, and how did you eventually apply to the United States? Because I heard you got a scholarship, and I think it's a really good thing also to share, karena kan it's something that is possible. What happened kok sampai akhirnya you earned that scholarship?
Okay, so I graduated and I took half a year off. I took half a year off before I took that time to apply to figure out exactly what I wanted to do because I didn't know for sure whether I could go to the US or not. So, like I said, a scholarship was a must, and we needed that for me to be able to go. So I applied everywhere, and most of the time I was given at least a little bit of scholarship. So you can get scholarships by taking your SAT test, depending on your school grade, and TOEFL scores as well. So they calculate all these different things to see which scholarship is fitted best for you. The school that I went to, Corbin University, offers international students an international grant from the beginning. So that's like a lot of money scholarship already from the get-go without any tests and everything. They don't look at your tests and stuff like that. That's just for international students. However, they have a higher scholarship, which is the academic scholarship, which is what I wanted. But to do that, I had to take SAT. The funny thing is, I didn't plan to apply to Corbin University. My mom wanted me to.
Okay.
So, and I didn't study for SAT. I didn't take any lessons. You know how some people usually do take SAT prep and stuff like that. I didn't. I immediately took the test. I scheduled, took the test. I remembered, I think I felt very underprepared because the English was a lot harder than I expected. The math was as hard as I expected, but it wasn't enough for me to just prepare for one thing. So I felt really underprepared. But luckily, because MSA already prepped us with a lot of SAT vocabulary, a lot of reading comprehension stuff, like Miss Liani's class for our English class, our grammar class, it's actually quite advanced. We took like A-level books and stuff like that. So I felt as prepared as I could be without taking any extra courses. So I took the test, and apparently I got enough of a high score to get a higher academic scholarship.
Wow. And that you do without specific preparation tambahan kan ya untuk that specific test. Wow. But you do it without preparation and you still can get the scholarship. It's good to always prepare, right? Tapi it's also good to have a preparation yang bukan hanya when you need it, then you need to rush the process. Because again, I think with language and math especially, you cannot just like belajar for 2 bulan atau 3 bulan and then you expect your English to be like, it's built, right? It's something that, vocabulary nggak bisa cuman kayak this one day, you gotta memorize everything, you need to practice it, you need to use it in your daily lives, your sentences, your writing, and then your speaking, and then it builds up. So it's good, meaning like, the foundation is pretty solid. So that's how you eventually get the grants in that 6 months period, and then you go to the United States, and then you finish the courses with a major and also a minor in how long?
Years total in university. I was 3 years there. And then I graduated.
Okay. And supposedly 4 years, yeah, biasanya. So it took you 3 years. How did you do with your grades there?
Well, I got straight A's. I graduated
Wow.
summa cum laude. So
Ooh,
pretty good. Yeah.
pretty good. Like just crushing dreams after dreams, right? It's really great, and we're all so proud of you to know that, wow, one of us, actually like go to that extent and then graduated with summa cum laude. It also makes us, I feel so proud, karena actually what they did brings result, because I believe it's not just in the academics, tapi again, academics alone just bring you that far if you don't have the characters, like you said, kind of determination, actually the passion, you find your goal, because you feel like dari dulu actually the capability is in you, it's just you don't have the drive. To you, is passion is important? Menurut Nikki, personally, passion itu penting nggak in life?
I think so. I think that that's quite important. Yeah.
Tapi kan as we know ya, there are a lot of young people yang are passionate about something, either it's sports atau apa, tapi tengah jalan or when things get difficult, they stop kan, atau they change their passion. What makes you have that, like not just the goal, but then the determination, the passion to like lanjut. If you can give like advice maybe, or through your experience, your story, gimana sih caranya?
Funny thing is, my passion, or I guess my goal when I was in high school, was to study in the US, right? So I got there, and it's harder than I expected. It wasn't easy getting straight A's. I mean, it wasn't like, I closed my eyes, I did my tests, I got A's. It didn't work that way, sadly. I wished it did, but it didn't. So, but by the time I got there, technically my goal has been reached. I am in America. I'm studying. I don't technically need to excel anymore, right? But by the time I got there, it already became not really a goal, but it turned into a commitment. So when you start to have a goal, you have that dream, but once you get there, you don't, it's like working hard to make a toy. After that, do you just like put the toy away? No, now you play with it, but you don't break the toy.
Yeah.
So you got to treat it right. And so that's kind of, by the time I got there, it was already a commitment. My parents were helping me get there. I was studying in a place that not many people were able to go to. A lot of people want to study in the US, and not many people can. So very, very horrible of me to not work hard while I'm there. I mean, the reason why I finished in 3 years was not because, it was easy. I just wanted to finish in 3 years just to, I finished in 3 years. No, of course, it's hard. It's expensive to go there. So I didn't want my parents paying for when I could finish in 3. And I took on, I think I had 3 part-time jobs while I did full credits and stuff. So I worked so that my parents didn't have to give me money every month. So it became no longer a goal or a passion, but a commitment. But if you're living your dream, it comes with responsibilities,
It's really good, I think, your point in commitment. Karena itu tadi ya, having passion, it becomes like, in a while, it becomes a trend, especially with teenagers, young people. Maybe you can share, mungkin pas middle school gitu ya, how were your grades reaching up to eventually a summa cum laude?
Oh, well, sebelumnya was really bad. I think aku kelas 3, I think the teacher said seharusnya Nikki nggak naik kelas, Bu. Told my mom. Naik kelas, tapi ya kasihan juga ya kalau dia stay di sini, jadi kita naikin aja gitu. Tapi I think dia perlu guru les. Kalau enggak, grade 4. So that was grade 3. I didn't improve after that. I didn't improve. It didn't get better. It wasn't like, oh, okay, so I got scared now. They told me I couldn't pass. I'm going to work hard now. No, I was just like, okay, whatever. Kalau nggak naik kelas, ya nggak naik kelas. Ya udah, EGP. It just got worse and worse, I think. But then my mom moved me from a school yang Indonesian based. Karena aku Indonesianya kurang kurang bagus ya. Jadi dari kecil udah ngomong bahasa Inggris. And then I moved into an international school and I spoke full English. The classes were in English. I still didn't do very good. I didn't want to go to school. I think I skipped school twice a week. I think my grades were, I think they did out of 8.
Okay.
The highest. I think I got paling bagus 4, except for my English. My English was always 8. Tapi everything else, I got 2, 3, and 4.
Wow. Okay.
And Chinese class, Chinese is funny. So Chinese, they separated you. So level paling tinggi, if you're capable, they put you in the highest level. And then you're intermediate, you go to the middle level. And then anak-anak yang bener-bener nggak bisa bahasa Cina, they put it in
lowest level. Yeah.
In the beginning, when I entered the school, I had pretty good Mandarin because my old school was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But I was so lazy, I flunked my test intentionally so that they would put me at the very bottom.
Wow.
So after that, everything is easy. Tapi, what I didn't realize after moving to Morningstar was that was a mistake because then I never learned anything new, and now I have to catch up. It's basically, I got to Morningstar and I realized there were a lot of things I had to catch up on because of how bad I was in middle school. Yeah.
That's the thing with teenagers, yeah. You like to you're very creative in a sense. Cari way out-nya itu malah you intentionally just, I gotta fail this supaya it gets easy on me and then I get good grades for something that's actually not your level because you can afford better grades, you can afford better level, but you just, don't want to do it, don't care. And itu menjadi sesuatu yang I think a lot of teenagers feel keren. I don't know in your life when you were in Indonesia, also in the United States, pergaulan, how is it? Because like banyak orang yang mungkin students that wanna go abroad, mereka berpikir orang kalau you become someone yang with scholarship, finish in 3 years, itu berarti people that have no life, such boring people. Can you tell a little bit like what did your life look like when you were there, studying, maintaining 3 part-time jobs, right? Tapi how's your social life? Because I feel like it's really important to, have both, right? Nggak cuma satu and then you really like have no social life juga. What can you tell us a little bit gimana when you were there?
So the fact that banyak orang think it's cool kalau kamu nggak pinter or like nggak succeed gitu, jadi nggak kutu buku kan banyak teman kan maksudnya. Not, I was the laziest kid and I had no friends. So I mean, your brains have like your success in academics have nothing to do with your social life. Well, it does mean a lot of time goes to your studies, but manage your time well. You have a great social life. Like my life in the US, I'm gonna share a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was taking 21 credits because I needed to graduate in 3 years was my goal. So I maxed out my credits. The maximum is 18. I took 21. So my professors, everybody was like, Nikki, if you take 21, nggak bisa hang sama teman-teman lo, nanti kamu stres gini gitu. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take 21 credits. So I took it, and I had 3 part-time jobs. Yeah. And I was the president of my psychology association.
Wow.
Major, I was the president of my major, and by definition kalau kelihatannya kayak begitu aku kutu-kutu banget ya, like benar-benar seharusnya nggak ada kehidupan social at all.
Yeah.
I had a lot of friends. Every weekend I would hang out, we would play board games. I went to some parties too. I mean, of course, safety and everything, good parties based on your own choices, yeah?
Yes.
I went to Portland. I had time to go drive 45 minutes to the city to hang out. I was able to go to Seattle even, travel, just have fun. No, I had a lot of friends. So it's definitely no such thing as, studies mean you can't have a social life. That's not true. It's true that I didn't sleep as much. That's true. But No, even during exam week, I had enough time to drive out and watch the stars. Like, it really does depend on how you manage your time, what you count as priority and not priority. Because if you think about it, when people say, I have no time, that's not true.
Yeah.
If I'm really busy with 3 jobs, taking full credit, I still had time. I still had time to hang out with my friends. I still had time to do extra work, like be involved in my psychology association, which is like running events and all that stuff. I still had time to do that, and I still had time afterwards to go home and watch Netflix. So, I mean, you you don't lose things. You don't have to choose between having fun and being responsible if you manage your time properly. If you invest in things the way you should, like prioritize. Of course, first for me, studies came first. So if my friends wanted me to hang out, like let's say, just because I said I have a lot of friends and I socialize a lot, didn't mean I went to every single hangout. That's not true. Yeah. When I wanted to go out and stuff, and I knew I had to do my homework and I knew I had to study, I had to choose. Do I want to go out with them today or do I want to go out with them tomorrow? If I go out with them today, I have to stay home tomorrow and work. If I go out with them tomorrow, I can do my work today. So you just have to, it is somewhat of a choosing game, but I had a lot of fun. I did not give up my social life or my getting to know new people and meeting new people just because I wanted to focus on my studies. No?
Yeah. So the key is time management, right? I think you're an opportunist. Will you say so? Opportunities, you feel like ya udah daripada get the best of both worlds. I like to socialize too. I like to make friends. I like to go out. Tapi juga sometimes when I feel like there are things that I need to do, and then there are things that are passionate for me, I'll choose one over the other because there are actually a lot of opportunities that we can do. A lot of teenagers feel like there's no more real goal. Can you share mungkin kayak in your opinion peer to peer gitu, apa sih yang you feel like you can suggest to them to maybe do also, like to see this time as an opportunity to not just stay depressed? What is your message how to be opportunist?
For one, the simple thing is this: just because your goal no longer has a deadline doesn't mean it's not a goal anymore. Doesn't mean that it's not possible. Just think of it as a delay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, you want to go study abroad. Yeah, sure, right now school is online. And if you want to do study abroad, you can't right now because you don't know if you can get there or not. Just as we didn't predict COVID, we're not going to predict when it ends either. It could happen. It could suddenly there'll be a cure tomorrow. I don't think so. But you never know when the cure will happen. And by that time, do you want to get there and go, oh shoot, I'm not prepared, like now I can't go because I didn't prepare. So we don't know exactly when your goal will happen. Like I didn't either. I didn't expect for me to be able to study in the US after I graduated. I actually waited 6 months. I graduated MSA, waited 6 months, then I went to college. I didn't even know I could go to college because I didn't know if I would get scholarships and stuff like that. And whenever those things are uncertain, yeah, it's very scary. Tapi daripada focus on the uncertainties, why don't you focus on what's already right in front of you? Like, what can you do now? Daripada kamu gila-gila kayak, oh my God, aku kapan ya bisa kuliah? Aku kapan ya bisa keluar negeri? Aku kapan ya sama orang tuaku? Daripada pikir-pikir begitu, gotta focus on what you've got right now. Like, once you go abroad, you're not going to have your parents to cook you meals. You're going to have to cook everything on your own. You want to eat, you got to cook. If you don't want to eat, you don't eat. I mean, it becomes... Right now, you get to enjoy the best time, which is studying at home, being a child without responsibilities, as much responsibilities except to study.
Yeah.
And if with just a little responsibility, you cannot be faithful and you cannot work hard, you cannot expect to be prepared when you go to college. You won't be. Because by the time you get there, you're like, oh my goodness, this is too hard. I'm going to go home now. What a waste, right? So to me, as right now, what can I say to everybody? Right now, it's no different than when you are at school, technically. You're still on your phone when you're at school, in a way. You still talk to each other through text messages when you're home. The difference is now you actually realize how important it is to actually have human interaction. But now you can do... School is also cut shorter, right? Isn't school shorter now? Shouldn't everybody be happy too. I mean, okay, no matter what, I am still a lazy person at heart. Did you enjoy the fact that school's a little shorter and you have extra time to figure out exactly what you want to do? Take this time to figure out your passion, because by the time you go to college, you're like, oh, what do I want to study? Daripada go there and not knowing, because I went without knowing what I wanted to study. I had to figure it out all the way, like while I was there, which is even, in my opinion, scarier, because you're like, oh my gosh, am I wasting time? Gitu kan. And di sini, you're not. You take your time now just to exactly research what you possibly want to do.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you can take this opportunity.
Good. So what's your next big thing at the moment? Because tapi what is your next big thing? Atau what is your next goal that you're trying to reach after this?
Well, I want to get my master's, so I want to go back to school, guys.
Back to school from someone who hates school so much. Good for you.
I love school now because if you think about it, I don't know about you, Jay Helen, but studying is a lot easier than working. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that too. You know, the pressure is just finishing that homework, and when it's done, kan? So what if master degree, what do you want to study?
Well, that is the good question. I don't know. So that's why I think a bunch of, younger people, I can actually relate to them going, I don't know what I want to study. I don't know what to do. And I feel stressed out. And I find it very funny because they're in high school and they're freaking out about what to do in life. And I'm here at 22 and I can tell you, I still don't know what to do with my life. But I do know.
I'm still also trying to figure out. And it changes every day. Sometimes I got to question myself, what do I really want? And start to, be committed. Or else there are a lot of things that we can do, but we don't commit to one, we don't get anything done.
That's true. But lucky for me, I'm working in a school now, so I get to figure out all these different things that I want to do and all these different things that I can work with. And I'm working with a few special needs kids too to see, like, is that what I want to do? Because that was one of the things that were an option for me to study and to work with, because I did have the passion for that. But then, so right now, I guess the biggest goal for me is to, in my commitment, in my work, to do as well as I can, to give my 110% in my job. And later, once I figure out exactly what I want, which part of psychology I want to do, then I'll go get my master's. But until then, I guess right now I just have time to figure out exactly what I want to learn. And I'm okay with that.
And it means taking the day one day at a time, right? And sometimes ya memang waktu-waktu gini a perfect time ya for you to maybe have more time to actually not get rushed. Karena with them juga actually I feel like mereka punya banyak waktu to do more research, to learn more new skills yang bisa membuat mereka make the better choice. So maybe ya to kind of like summarize it gitu. What are the messages that you can share from you in kalau you say you want to conclude your life story as a teenager who started with let me say an F grade ya, not passing kan kayak tadi 4 itu kan definitely an F gitu ya. Jadi from that point on to becoming someone that have a goal and persevering towards that goal sampai you graduated with a summa cum laude and still you have goal, you wanna masih mau ngambil masters and then maybe career-wise ada shift of thinking. Tapi what can you share, especially in this struggle time, to end like maybe your message as a whole, because your life story has been, like from down up, and I feel like sometimes we still have the down and up, and everyone also have kan. Apa yang kamu bisa share ke mereka untuk masa, especially this pandemic season ya, karena I feel like for teenagers going to university, itu yang the most difficult for them is no longer the studying yang makes them stressful, which dulu kan itu ya, good grades, good university, bisa scholarship enggak, all those requirements yang sekarang juga requirements-nya juga jadi enggak jelas. Maybe you can share your suggestion again, like to end like apa sih yang kalian bisa lakuin, dan juga maybe like end with your words of encouragement to maybe make them see what you see.
First, I would like to, I guess, summarize my entire journey. The thing I learned that was pretty huge is that don't be afraid to challenge yourself with big dreams. Don't be afraid to think beyond range of possibility into the impossible, because most things are impossible until you try it. Then it's no longer impossible. And I used to think that in not trying, I won't fail because I was afraid of failure. But actually, instead of that, I've actually failed already from the beginning because I didn't even try. So that things don't work out. But instead, take a chance on the possibility that it does work out. Because right now, with us focusing on the fact that a lot of schools, the US, and requirements udah ganti and everything udah nggak stable and stuff like that. Think of it as, you know what? A lot of schools out there are probably making exceptions left and right, exceptions left and right, because they're definitely going to accept you if you have a school report card. And I'm pretty sure your school will have a school report card. Jadi, daripada pikir, aduh aku nggak ada SAT, aku nggak ada TOEFL, aku nggak ada ini, think about what you do have and what you can offer them instead. And then give it a try. Just don't be afraid to try. Worst comes to worst, they tell you you need to get your SATs, but we'll wait for you as long as you need to get your SATs. Jadi, jangan pikir that once the door is opened, you have to run through it. You don't. You can wait. If the door closes, another one will open. Nggak susah. Life doesn't end just because, you know, you can't get there now. You can get there later. I think also right now yang paling important is to establish your character. Take this time to establish your character. Know who you are sebelum kamu ke kuliah in places yang you're alone. Because udah nggak ada orang tua, no one's going to tell you what's good and what's not good. It's all up to you. So I say take this time to find your anchors. Find things that keep you tied to your character. Like my parents were my anchors while I was there. I kept thinking, what would my mom do? Or what would my dad do? Would they be proud if I do this now? Probably not. Probably yes. So you got to think about that. Your teachers and your friends, they have a lot of wisdom. Learn from their mistakes and learn from their successes as well. Ask for help. Your teachers probably wouldn't be like, nggak usah, kamu coba sendiri. Gitu loh. Always ask. I'm pretty sure your teachers will help you. And take this time, most importantly, when things you don't know when anything is happening, you can't do anything, there is something you can do. Experiment. Read, watch YouTube, watch movies, do whatever you want. Look at all these different things to see what exactly you want to do in life, because everybody has a passion. And just because your passion might not be clear, like mine, I wasn't like, oh, I want to be a doctor, a brain doctor. No, there was never like one clear, I wanted to be blah. No. I knew, though, that I had skills that helped me in certain areas in life. And my passion was to use those skills to help people in however form it is, which is why now when I'm back, I'm not very discouraged by not being in the psychology field or all that stuff. I am in some form way helping people. I'm helping kids, I'm helping my teachers, my fellow teachers, I'm even interning at a psychology counseling center. So you can do a lot of things with your time. And even though you might think that these are not important things, and even though you might feel like a failure, don't focus on the empty part of the cup. Focus on what you've got filled. Focus on what you've got done. Focus on what you can continue to do. Or else you'll just go insane thinking about the things that are out of your control. And schools, tests, all that stuff, those are currently out of your control. But in a way, it's beautiful because the standards are so blurred. You can slip in anyhow, any way, you know? Don't be afraid about having no clear standards, because that just means that you have a bigger opportunity to find a different loophole. So be creative in how you want to spend your time. And take this time to have as much fun as you want to at home. You know, you're in a safe environment. You get to see all these different things. Research up different jobs, because a lot of jobs that didn't exist when we were in school exist now. You know, a lot of different majors, a lot of schools are changing things. Learn those things and decide exactly where you want to go. That way, by the time you get to the point where you can walk through the door, you've got your backpack, you've got your tools, you go there, you're prepared, rather than us sometimes immediately having to walk out the door without any preparation. So prepare as much as you can is basically what I want to leave with everybody today. But yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's the main point of our whole discussion is to take your time, no rush. Especially this is, ya again, if you see it from an opportunist point of view, ini waktu yang sangat sempurna because you have all the time and all those little loopholes. Karena actually banyak banget peraturan tentang a lot of things are changing karena ya beda kan sekarang dan juga kerjaan yang dulu nggak ada, especially after this COVID, it changes. Yang dulu orang ngerasa ya nggak mungkin lah masa semuanya online kayak gitu, tapi sekarang it's real. You do everything, you can do it from home, and you can work for people you don't know where in which part of the world, just by being this is the best time to actually connect with your parents, your family, karena nanti one day when you're older, these times might never.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, even when I studied in the US, I missed my parents like crazy. You know, if I'm hungry, I would just go, Dad, bikin mie kuah dong. Dibikinin. Aku di sana lapar, nggak ada orang tua, nggak makan gitu loh. So don't take your parents for granted. I mean, they care for you, and especially like like you said to Helen, like one day you're gonna make your own family. By that time, you won't be able to spend time with your parents anymore the way you do now. So those are important things that I think you shouldn't take for granted.
And that is actually a bright side, not a bad side. Yang orang teenagers mungkin kerasa, longer with my parents, when actually, thank God you have longer now. Karena when you're abroad, I totally agree, things get so difficult sometimes, you just wish you're at home. I believe it's also a reminder for all of them to still dream big. Karena the world is changing, and what used to be the requirements before might not be the requirements now. And now itu udah beda gitu ya. So once again, I think we have talked for an hour now. Nggak kerasa ya, time really flies when karena it's good for them to see it from people who just graduated last December. It's still fresh. Tapi mereka tahu actually to graduate with the summa cum laude, with 3 part-time jobs, with straight A's in only 3 years, you still can do it while also making friends, being the president of an organization, meaning you're dealing with a lot of people, you're holding events, parties, things like that, and you still can do well. Because again, if you're an opportunist, nggak harus, it doesn't mean you need to be a bookworm to do well. You just need to manage your time, be committed, and at the end of the day, first and foremost, God first, karena when you get your life priorities right, God goes first, I believe everything will fall into place.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you so much, Nick, for taking your time to share with me today. Hopefully there's another episode following this to see where, we can find some opportunities to do other things together. I'm excited. So stay healthy, stay safe, stay sane also. I hope you figure out your major soon if you're going to take your master's. And then, I'll look forward to what you will do next, because I believe great things are waiting ahead of you.
Thank you, Jay.
So thank you. I'll see you soon, yeah? Bye.